Good evening to all of you in the 314th Airlift Wing, especially those in the 48th Airlift Squadron who are carrying on the tradition of the 48th Troop Carrier Squadron. Just a brief background on the 48th. Just give me a minute. The 48th came into being in May 30th, 1942. They served in airborne assaults on Sicily, on Italy, in Normandy, and in Holland, and also in Germany. Well, after the big one, units began to phase out. But the 48th was reactivated 11th of August, 1947. As a unit in Tactical Air Command. It became the first four-engine C-54 Troop Carrier Squadron in the ZI. On the 26th of June, 63 years ago, a date to become known as the First Battle of the Cold War, the Russians halted all surface travel into the city. The Russians wanted the Allies out of Berlin, figuring the Allies would abandon their right to occupy their sector of the city. As far as a blockade was concerned, the Allies had a different idea. Air corridors by treaty were accessible, and their means of contact with their sectors of the city thus began known what is the Berlin Airlift or Operation Vittles. Come spring of 1949, the Russians recognized the futility of trying to force the Allies out of Berlin. On the 12th of May, they lifted a blockade, and once again, traffic began to flow into the city. The airlift was continued at a reduced pace as the units began to phase out. On the 30th of September, the airlift and the first battle of the Cold War was over without a shot being fired. In closing, I would like to say hello to a young captain in the 48th. He and I have a mutual contact. His grandparents and our family have been neighbors and good friends since the 60s. Captain Herring. A special thanks to all of you and Mr. Rumley for allowing me to share in your presentation ceremony. Keep them turning.